next in this session, we'll see what are constants and hash defines. Yeah. So these are some of the characters of some of the concepts which are used in C program widely and also in some other programs. Yeah. So constants, const keyword, oh, this is used to define a variable. Okay, it's nothing but a variable. Only a const is appended before a variable. Yeah, you can see here const. If you remove const, you have a normal variable int a. Okay. So what is the significance of adding a const in here? Is if we make a variable as const, we cannot change its variable after this assignment. Yeah. So we cannot change a variable of a to 20 from 20 to 30 in code. So you might ask, so why do I need a constant just to do this? Meaning I have a constant here, and even if I don't have a constant here, I can still maintain that int a remains 20 and I'll take care of myself in the code, in the program, that I am not updating a with any value, correct? So in that case, there is a problem, or say you do code today and maybe after 2 months, you want to revisit the code and update the code. At that point in time, you still have to remember that a is 20 and you're not supposed to change it. Yeah, and even if you make a as 30, there is no build error. So there is no triggers for you. But the moment you add constant here, it's a direct indication that it, and if you attempt to update it to 30, it will give an error. So what kind of variables will be made as consts? I mean, what kind of data is const? Yeah. See, a standard in mathematics pi, correct? 22 divided by 7. So that can be made as constant, floating value. Or say, if you want to add any offset to some values, so that also can be made as constants. So what are hash defines? Hash defines, with hash define also we can achieve a similar kind of thing. Like if you want to represent pi using some name, okay, so here hash defines are not variables. As you see, there is no int, there is no data type associated with hash define. You just write this syntax hash define, and that's it. So, and if you use this int a equal to number 5, then wherever you have a, 5 will be replaced. It will be substituted. So there is no scope definition. There is no, and this number 5, what we have written here, it does not occupy any memory space. What it does is, before the compilation, it will replace all the hash defines with their respective values. So here, if you have 20 hash defines, like different hash defines, and then number 5 will be replaced actually with this character 5 here. So this is the use case of hash define. So these are the standard differences. What I could explain you today. That const, like we already saw, const is a variable, so it occupies a physical memory. So when I say physical memory, it means it will either go sit in RAM or in the flash memory, depending on what you decided. And it can be referenced using the operator and operator. You will see in the next slides what this is used for. Yeah, we can extract the address because it has a memory address and it has a scope as well, like any variable, global scope, local scope. But whereas hash define is not a variable, so it does not occupy a memory space. If this does not occupy a memory space, then there is no memory, so we cannot get the address of it. Yeah. And it has no scope. Sorry for a mistake here. It has no scope like other variables. Here we'll see the example of const and hash define. So let me demonstrate how to define a const variable, const int a. So const keyword values int a, and then intended constant value, whatever you want to use, you can give here. Let me remove it for time being here. And now let me print it so that we know that it works exactly like any other variable. So if I compile and run it, it's printing 50. Yeah. So now let's try to update it to 55. Compile. You have a compile time error like this. Assignment of a read-only variable. Yeah. A. A is read-only variable. So you cannot update this. So you have a, like we discussed a scenario in the previous chapter in the explanation that const, even if you don't write it here, you can still have 15a. But the moment you have this, you're losing the intention of a, which was only supposed to have 50. But with constant, it will force you to have 50. Try to edit. There is a compilation error. This is a trigger, correct? So that's why wherever you want to keep something constant in your program, it's always recommended to use const. Yeah. So let's see hash defines. Yeah. Now I'll just comment it for time being. How do we comment? This is one way of commenting. This is another way of commenting. Let's just practice it here. And now here we'll define the hash define number a equal to 20. Yeah. I just define number a equal to 20. Now I can also print this here. Can I print it? So you're getting 20 here. Yeah. But what has actually happened is in the code, it has directly replaced this number a with 20. So it's not holding any address. It's not located anywhere. So before the compilation starts, that's called preprocessor. These are preprocessor directives. All these hash defines will be replaced with this. Correct? What I can also write is I can write a. Okay. I want to replace this with a. Now let's bring this back. A equal to 50. Okay. So now what will happen? It will, at the compile time, this thing will get replaced with a, and what is a in this program is 50. That's get printed. See, this is what is hash defines used for. A, number a is replaced with a, and these can be used in a real life, real-time programs in a different way. Yeah, I mean, here it's not serving any purpose, right? You have a, and again I'm defining number a. This is just for example purpose I'm showing, but in real life it will have a actual use case where it is easing your job. So it's better to know that when to use hash define, when to use constants.